Hi, welcome back to Gaming for Gamers. Here we are back in London. There is the River Thames, in the background is the London Eye, and behind those trees are the Houses of Parliament and Big Ben. Anyway, today's video is something I've just been looking at for a while, but I've just been looking at the website of Fntastic Games, who weren't that fantastic. I'm sure anyone that knows about gaming will remember the whole fiasco with the scam game the day before, which was super hyped. People were really excited, and then it launched, it was rubbish, and it was taken off sale ASAP, and it's gone, doesn't exist anymore. So you'd have thought that the people that did that, who did all manner of rubbish things and lies, they used volunteers, they lied about what the game was going to be, they showed footage that wasn't really what the game was, they used assets, and then they released what was a rubbish game. Of course it was, having obviously promised too much, and you know, it was obviously a scam idea. I don't know why they did it. There's lots of possibilities. I'm sure they made money from it somehow, but you'd think they would have the decency, like with many people, Sweet Baby is another, to just disappear and think, okay, we've done our scam, whatever it might be, and we're going to disappear and go away and enjoy our evil gains and do something else and scam a different media outlet or a different kind of thing. Maybe they should cars without engines or something. But no, they've relaunched Fntastic Games, and I was looking at their site, their website, and it's actually so ridiculous, it's funny, because it just is. So some of the things on their website which I noted as the most ridiculous is, one of the first things they say is, help Fntastic Games return. And I thought, why? I mean, even if it was a decent game manufacturer, anybody, BioWare, or it doesn't matter who, Rocksteady, it's a company. It's not. They're not our friends. They're a company that haven't done well. And whoever it was, even if they were a long-standing company that made loads of decent games and didn't scam anybody, why would consumers want to help them return? What would we want to do that for? That just means they failed and other companies come along. So just the premise of wanting to help a company return is an odd idea in itself, because why would anyone be invested in a company returning? And that's not counting if it's a new company that doesn't have anyone invested in it. Even if it was a new decent company that made one or two games, no one knows their history, no one's interested in what they've done, they've not made loads of games that everyone cares about, so why would you care if they return or not? And this is the absolute end of the scale. It's like a company that made a few games of which they were rubbish, and the last one was a scam and rubbish. So why would anyone want to help a game company that scammed people and made a rubbish game return? It doesn't have any sense to it. It's a really weird message. Then also on their site, they list the things they're going to do right this time, and they say, quote, they've discontinued the practice of using volunteers. Well, yes, because that's something that nobody does. It's called almost like slavery. You don't have volunteers working at your company to profit you, but not them. That doesn't make any sense, and no company would do that. So that's a normal thing. That's not like some radical change they've made that it's like, oh wow, you're actually going to pay people to make your game now. So yeah, okay, they're not going to scam their employees as well as the consumers, but I don't think that's a major step forward. They should be doing that like every company in every industry all along. Also, another thing they said was they're committed to honest marketing and being transparent. Well, you should be. I mean, again, in gaming, that doesn't always happen with all companies, but that's not a major advance. You would hope that that's what companies would do. I mean, it's true in gaming, they're not all, but we know from Fntastic's history they weren't at all. So, okay, now you're saying you're going to be honest, but you completely pulled the wool over everybody's eyes and lied about your last game. So why would we trust you saying that when we couldn't trust anything you said before? And the reason you're saying these things, and they've even said it's not they're saying this as a kind of farewell, they're saying this to start again. So that's even less reason to believe them. And the final thing that I thought was well, the final two things that were kind of funny is they've got a shop on their website where you can buy t-shirts from $30 to $65, and that's not cheap for a t-shirt. I mean, it's not cheap. It's not like it's a giveaway. And bearing in mind you are going to have a t-shirt supporting their brand, so that's not cheap. And why would anyone want to spend $30, let alone $65, on a t-shirt which is supporting a developer that scam people and that's got a very bad reputation? So that doesn't make any sense. And finally, which is the funniest of all, you've got a situation where they are offering extra things in their new game, which looks like a really basic kind of nothing game. They can probably make it because they can just use assets. It's not very ambitious, but you can pay $5,000 to get an in-game pet, which is a lot of dollars for an in-game pet. And this is the funniest one of all. You can pay $12,000 to meet with the founders. Why you would want to do that, I can't imagine, unless you want to ask them why they scammed you out of money before or what the hell their problem is. I can't think of any two people you would least want to meet and pay £12,000 for. But they think that their physical company is worth £12,000 just to meet them. And you wouldn't even trust that they would turn up. They're based in Asia, in Hong Kong or somewhere like that. So how would you meet them anyway? I mean, they're not going to pay to fly you there. And if you flew there and they paid, you'd assume that the air ticket was a fake and you get arrested on landing. So it's just strange. So it's just funny how people that completely scammed the public and made a really poor game then seem to think that they're entitled to come back just by not scamming again, and that's the least they could do. So it's just funny, and it's funny they've got the nerve to do it. It's funny. I mean, I quite expect them to come back in a year and be using a different name and hiding their identities, but they're brazen. They don't care. Anyway, thanks for watching Gaming for Gamers. Till next time.